Hello again, members. This is an update from a video flyover made on the 13th of August. You will see that visible progress has really been accelerating on the project. The very first holes are nearing completion, and several additional holes are now under construction. Let's get going with the flyover beginning over the 11th tees. As you remember, 11 was one of the first holes we started, so it is going to be the first hole complete, and it is almost there. The tees are finished, the new cart path is finished, there are some new trees planted along the edges of the hole, and the final step in completion is finalizing the sand capping. This is what a completed sand cap fairway looks like. You'll see a few spots on the edges where they hadn't quite finished smoothing it out, but this hole is 98% ready for seeding and then growing our new turf grass. As you recall, we're going to have bent grass in these fairways, ryegrass in the roughs, and bent grass on the greens. Coming down the hill, you'll see a very smooth fairway and rough transition, a few new trees. You'll notice several of our old redwoods are gone. The green is completely finished and smoothed out, ready for final planting. The bunkers are done. Bunker sand has been installed, and this hole is just about ready to go. Now we move over to the 12th tee area. You'll see the tees are sand capped and completed. Also notice that the new cart path is under construction to the left of the tees. There is still irrigation work going on here along the right side of these tees and down into the fairway. The sand capping has begun on the 12th fairway when we see this view, but it is obviously not yet completed. You see an area in the landing area that has pretty much completed the sand capping. Notice there's no left-hand bunker in the driving area in the new design for the golf course. Also, you may have noticed a few new trees planted between the 12th fairway and the 13th green. Coming on up the second half of the hole, you see the capping sand is in place but has not yet been smoothed out. The McKenzie bunker is completed, short and right of the green. The green, which we've seen before, is finished. Its surrounds are quite different. Front bunker moved to the left, no right-hand bunker, a slope off the right-hand side, small bunker in the back left. All in all, a beautiful green complex at number 12. We move up to 14. You see the tees, a few new trees around the 14th tees. The cart path here at the tee is not yet done, as that's still being used as a construction road onto the 14th and 15th holes. You do see that drainage work has been nearly completed on the 14th fairway. That's what all these V-shaped trenches with capping sand over the top represent. The second half of the fairway a bit wider. You'll see again that the drainage has been completed. We're still using part of this fairway for a haul road. Capping has not begun, but the new cart path up to the left of the green is finished. The McKenzie bunker short right. The green and green surrounds and greenside bunkers are all complete. That right front bunker has been moved over to the right from where it used to be, but the green is essentially the same size and shape that we've enjoyed in the past. Now we come up to the 15th hole. The cart path comes around the tee. The back tees are completed and raised. All of the tees have been capped but not finished. You'll see irrigation work going on to the right of the teeing ground. A more open look down the right side of this fairway as the Removal of redwoods has changed the look and feel to a much more open sensation here. A few new oak trees being planted in those open areas. Overall, the 15th hole is actually going to be one of the most similar to what we enjoyed in the past. The fairway size and shape is the same. The green position is the same. You'll see a couple of changes when we get up to the green, but generally this hole looks about the same. Notice that the drainage is complete on this hole. Irrigation was just beginning to be installed on this hole as this video was taken. When we get up to the green, you'll see there's still a large right front bunker. However, there's no bunker to the back of this green at all, and the green is somewhat larger. It extends farther back into the fairway on the front and farther back to the back right from where it was. We come over to the 16th teeing ground. Those tees have the capping sand in place, and notice the new natural area that was created around the forward tees and extends over to the left in front of the fourth tees. You see the drainage in there. You see some new trees have been planted. This area is going to be quite natural with its vegetation. It will not be traditional turf grass that we've had in the past. We come up the fairway on 16. You'll see that the drainage work is beginning. It's pretty much done in the second half of the hole, but just being started at the top of the hill and toward the front half of this fairway. Again, you'll see these V-shaped arrows that represent the drainage pattern that has been engineered for this and our other fairways. A couple of new oak trees to the left between the 16th fairway and the 4th fairway and green approach. The green here is in a similar position. There is a double bunker in the front left where we used to have just one. The green surrounds are more friendly, sloping toward the green. And while it's a bit subtle, you may notice that the oak trees that overhang the green have been trimmed. Now we're down in front of the 4th and 16th fairways with an overhead look of that natural area right in front of those teeing grounds and leading up to the fairways. Should be a very attractive and new look for us. Also notice the clean areas around the oak trees that separate the 4th and 16th tees. Very nice look in there. Coming up the 4th hole, the drainage work and irrigation work had begun on this hole at the time of this video, but was not yet complete. Coming up the fairway, you'll notice there is a new fairway bunker at the top of the hill that makes a distinctively different look than the 16th fairway off the tee. As we get over the highest part of the hill, you'll see work beginning in the second half of this fairway on the drainage. This is the trenching that is done in order to put the drainage pipes in place before it gets capped over. You'll notice two new bunkers in a McKinsey bunker position short and left of this green. These are about 70 yards from the green. You'll also notice a new bunker in the right front of the 4th green. This is going to be a fun new challenge for us. The green itself is a bit lower. The green surround is more friendly. You could come off the left side and get onto this green. You can come off the right side and get onto this green. There is another new bunker to the back left of the 4th green, and a few new oaks planted on the hillside behind the green up toward the position of the 17th tee. Now we're flying over the 17th hole. Tees have not yet been completed, although the rough shaping is done. As you come along the hole, you see the path that's currently being used as a haul road for the equipment. However, that is about where the cart path will run on this hole. You'll see some drainage and irrigation work that's begun on this hole. And you'll also see a very new green complex. There's a large front left bunker And this green, while it's difficult to really tell from an overhead view, it's significantly bigger than we had before, probably on the order of 25% larger. We move over to 18. The work on the tees has not been done. This fairway is still being used as a primary haul road for equipment bringing sand and other materials down to the construction on the back nine. However, as we get up to the landing area for tee shots, you'll notice that all of the old bunkers have been removed. There will be new bunkers built in the landing areas, but they're going to be different and staggered for a different look in this area. As we come to the second half of this par 5, there has been some rough shaping done in the fairways. There have been some new trees planted along the right-hand side in the rough. And as we get closer to the green, you'll recognize that the rough shaping work has begun at this green and around it. The bunkers have been dug, although not yet completed. There is a new front right bunker. The green side bunker on the right is much farther back into the green. There is a rear bunker on the back. The green was nearly completed at the time of this video. Equipment's still out there working on finishing up the drainage, finishing up the rough shaping of the bunkers before the bunker linings were going to be installed. We come back out onto the golf course over the 5th tees. Tees have been shaped and the sand capping material put in place. As of the time of this video, the primary drainage work had not yet begun on this hole. There's some rough areas where rocks were being removed and so forth in preparation for that work to begin. You'll notice there's only one bunker in the landing area in the left corner of this fairway. We used to have 2 big ones down here. You'll see new trees planted between the 5th fairway and the 3rd fairway to provide some visual separation between those holes. We come on up the 5th fairway. Again, you see that these are primary construction paths where we bring equipment and materials to the lower parts of the front and back nine. As we come up the 5th fairway, you'll notice that the fairway bunkers are different. We've only got one bunker in that area from about 100 to 120 yards short of the green. There's no left bunker there. There's a new McKinsey bunker about where the old one was, some 50 to 70 yards short of the green. And as we get over the green, you'll see a really exciting new design for this green. It's called an L-shaped green, and it's obvious why. There is a bunker in the inner corner of the L. There's no bunker to the front left of the green. There is one on the back left. But you'll notice that the potential pin positions in the front left and the back right are going to be quite challenging between one another as that new small front bunker sits in that corner of the L. There's no right bunker on the side of the green, and the green is actually larger. Here we are looking at the 6th hole. The green has started its finishing work and is quite similar to what we had before. In fact, the 6th hole will look somewhat similar in terms of the green size and position. The bunkering is quite similar. It's a much cleaner look around the green surrounds. A lot of vegetation was removed behind the hole. The area was reshaped for better chipping approaches from the back side of this green, and you'll see that the green had its drainage and gravel layer completed, and the greens mix was just beginning to be installed at the time of this showing. Now we're over number 2, and we get an even better look at the natural area that was beginning to be created between the second and sixth tees and greens. This was only rough shaped at the time of this video. You'll also see that the second green had been rough shaped, the bunkers roughly dug out. The right-hand side is much more open than before, but the green takes a dramatic and exciting new shape with 2 areas on the front right and back right that are separated by a raised area of fairway turf in between. The size of the green is larger, the shape of the green is much more interesting, and the contours on the green are going to be very interesting. It's a clean look behind this green up to the third tees, and of course, landscaping will make a difference around these holes as well. Finally, we're going to see an update on the pond. At this time in mid-August, the pond was being filled for the first time. It's only about probably 1/3 full at the time of this video. All the construction around it with the boulders and the concrete liners for aquatic plant locations had been finished. You'll see a new inlet section at the bottom left portion of this lake. You'll notice some algae was growing in the lake when we first started to fill it. That's because the lake was totally stagnant and the weather was very warm in mid-August. But don't worry, that algae is already gone. Once the lake starts circulating water onto the golf course, our new bio system in the lake has done a very rapid and very complete job of removing the algae. So there you have it. I hope you're beginning to see how new and exciting our course is going to be. Stay tuned for more as we get another update in the next couple of weeks. Thanks for now.